Really about Rebekah Brooks' life and career in journalism. This afternoon we got on to, if you like, the subject matter of these charges, and in particular Jonathan Laidlaw QC, Rebekah Brooks' barrister, asked her about her knowledge of Glenn Mulcair. Glenn Mulcair is the private investigator who was employed by the News of the World and who has admitted to conspiracy to hack mobile phones between 2000 and 2006. Rebekah Brooks was editor of the News of the World between 2000 and 2003. And in an exchange between her and Jonathan Laidlaw, he asked her, we will examine allegations. Let me ask you this. During that period, May 2000 to June 2003, had you heard of Mr. Mulcair's name? No, replied Rebekah Brooks. Jonathan Laidlaw said, had anybody, as far as you remember, spoken his name in your presence? No, replied Rebekah Brooks. What about his activities? If his name hadn't been mentioned, was any of his activities brought to your attention? We did have PIs, private investigators, working on the News of the World. I don't know if I knew at the time if there were other industries, but it was common practice in Fleet Street. You're saying you didn't know of his name as working for the News of the World, asked Mr. Laidlaw. No, replied Rebekah Brooks, I'd never heard this name. Jonathan Laidlaw then asked, as for PIs, you knew they were working for the News of the World? Yes, replied Rebekah Brooks, it was PIs, tracing agents. Jonathan Laidlaw then said, had his name ever been associated with private investigators? No, replied Rebekah Brooks. And finally, Jonathan Laidlaw asked, as for phone hacking, accessing voicemail messages, was any involvement he had in that practice ever drawn to your attention? No, not at all, replied Rebekah Brooks.